But what we do know is in the middle of the afternoon, this guy walked up to the door, walked inside the store, and when he walked out of these doors, he had a piece of very expensive jewelry. I've been getting answers this morning about that half-cent sales tax and how your pennies are being spent. The police tell me there have been 6 rapes since spring break began here in Daytona Beach. Deputies say they spotted a car that fit the description given to them by witnesses at the scene of the shooting. They moved in with guns drawn and made the arrests. As for the baby that was taken to Arnold Palmer Hospital, right now we're being told that that baby is in critical condition. Just a moment ago, I saw some kind of automobile. I don't know if you can see it here through the smoke, but there's an automobile in there on fire. Right up here, this is somebody's house here too. It looks like part of that roof has come off right there. That half-cent sales tax will expire in 2015. It will be up to the school board at that time whether they want to try to push that sales tax on into the future. I went by his house, I tried to call him, and I tried to email him, but so far, no comment. But investigators tell me that woman parked her car in this parking lot with her 2-year-old son in the car and her mother-in-law. When she got out, she was attacked by a man who said he had a gun, demanded her purse, he got physical with her. This is something we do all the time. You pull up to the gas station, you get out of the car, you walk up to the gas pump, and you might pay with one of these, a credit card, but it's what's happening when you swipe your card that could lead to more than just gas prices showing up on your bank account. This is where the sheriff's office has set up the command post. And then in the pitch black, he walks up to the foot of the bed and then shines a flashlight in his unsuspecting victim's eyes.
Every day, Channel 9 Eyewitness News is all about local coverage.
Coverage of breaking news.
You can still see the flames shooting out of this storage facility.
Scott, what are neighbors telling you?
Mike, they're worried tonight. It's still a very active scene out here. You can see the Volusia County mobile command unit still in front of the home. There's still no motive in this case yet, and detectives are treating this as a homicide, and that's why neighbors in this quiet Orange City community tell me that they're worried for their safety tonight. Now take a look at some video we shot from behind the victim's home here. You can see investigators with flashlights searching for evidence in the kitchen area. They've been doing that all night long. 51-year-old Rabbit Burns was found dead in her home on West Fern Drive in Orange City around 12:30 this afternoon. She was discovered when co-workers went to her home after she was not showing up for work. Now neighbors like Debbie Culp tell me that she and her husband have lived right behind Burns for 13 years. They describe her as a nice, quiet lady that kept to herself. And now after a possible murder, literally in their own backyard, she tells me that unfortunately, it may be time for some drastic changes.
It's just really strange when it happens in your backyard.
I want to move. Every time I walk out the door, I'm going to remember her and see her face. And I don't know, I just feel uncomfortable now. I don't feel the same. I don't feel safe anymore.
You lived here 13 years in this quiet neighborhood, and now you want to move out?
Yeah. I don't feel safe anymore.
A scary situation for those poor folks that live in this neighborhood. Now, I just got off the phone with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. They tell me that the key to solving this case might be the victim's car. It is missing from the house. It's a black 2003 PT Cruiser, and the license plate says Rabbit. Meanwhile, the neighbors out here tell me again that until this case is solved, they're going to stay on alert and keep their doors locked tight tonight. Reporting live in Orange City, Scott Rates.
Our promise is being broken. We sent Scott Rates to find out.
How do we know our taxes will be well spent? You can trust they'll save more.
If that commercial looks familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen it before. It aired back in 2002 when political consultant and child advocate Dick Batchelor spearheaded a campaign to raise a half-cent sales tax to repair Orange County schools. The vote passed by 60%. But now, 7 years later, Batchelor says that tax money isn't properly being spent.
They made a promise to you that these schools would be repaired. Now they're coming forward and entertaining, proposing closing some of these schools.
But Rick Collins, the chief financial officer for Orange County Public Schools, says the district kept its promise.
Every penny of the money has been used specifically how it was identified to be used at the time of the referendum.
So how has the more than $982 million in sales tax revenue been spent? Collins says the cash went to schools that the board decided needed repairs. They are expected to have the repairs completed by 2016.
Well, you know, there was a mistake made, and we acknowledged the mistake.
The district started out $600 million in the hole, and Collins says that when you add on the fact that property values have tanked since 2002 and that new home construction has significantly dropped, dropped, it's even harder to stay on target.
If our tax base drops, our ability to borrow money also diminishes.
Collins says that things could turn around, but the school board will ultimately decide how your tax money is spent.
At this point, our school board has directed staff to take that list, apply the dollars to the list, and to execute the list. That's what we're doing.
Now that half-cent sales tax will expire in 2015, it will be up to the school board at that time whether they want to try to push that sales tax on into the future.
Scott Rates was at the jail and filed this report.
Mitzi Vargas has 3 kids, a family, and what she says is a wonderful life. But now, after hearing about the most recent hang-up at the Osceola County Jail, she's beside herself.
I mean, I live right close to that jail, so does my mother, and, you know, I have my kids with me, and we go out, and it's like you just have to constantly watch your back because you don't know what's going to happen.
According to a newly released report by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, it was 2 nights ago when a corrections officer overheard Carlos Rosa telling another inmate that he had made a handcuff key and he wanted to try it out. The corrections officer immediately searched Rosa's cell using a metal detector. They found a strange-looking bar of soap in the sink, and that's when they say they found the altered staple inside that bar of soap. And of course, all of this comes as the jail has been a hotbed of controversy over the past 3 months.
After the first breakout, I called my mother to make sure that she was indoors because they hadn't caught the guy yet. And I think he's still on the run, isn't he?
And she's right. In fact, 2 other inmates are still on the loose. Michael Rigby escaped back in February after removing a toilet and a sink inside his cell. Alexander Keith is also still on the run this morning. The jail let him go after he falsely identified himself. Last night, Local 6 was able to obtain an email that was sent out to all the supervisors at the jail by the jail's current interim chief, Raul Bonasco. In that email, Bonasco says, quote, effective immediately prior to contacting the sheriff's office in regards to placing outside charges on inmates, you are required to make contact with me to discuss the circumstances, end of quote. The county spokesperson says the purpose of the email is just to ensure that management is kept in line with any incidents that go on at the jail. Now, as you might imagine, all of this has the people that live in the neighborhoods around the jail confused, worried, and wondering what's next.
I don't even want to let them go outside by themselves, you know, because you don't know. We were so close to it. They can be lurking around the corner.
Now, I wanted to ask the interim chief about that email he sent out to all of his employees. So last night, I went by his house, I tried to call him, and I tried to email him, but so far, no comment. Reporting at the Osceola County Jail, Scott Rates, Local 6 Morning News.
Our vehicle's at.
The way it looks now is this group tonight and tomorrow night are their last 2 nights of spring break, and then we'll get another group that comes in. So you'll probably have this group will really be partying hardy. Last night, the Desert Inn, we had 13 arrests. 1 guy for climbing up on the balconies, narcotics arrest, underage drinking, disorderly conduct. That was the hot spot last night. Let's talk to some of the officers, tell you what's going on. You know, you would think normally when you come in spring break, you would want a hotel room that faces the ocean, except for here, they want the hotel room that faces A1A so that they can wreak havoc.
Yeah, spring break! They're throwing big bags of trash all over the place. It hit a car, and she informed that security would take care of it. I've lived here a couple of years. It's a private condo. Nobody did a damn thing, Chief.
I'm the police chief here. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen tonight. I'm about to declare war on your hotel and all your balcony guys. I'm going to give you the first opportunity to clear it, because if I got to clear it, they're not going to like the outcome. Stop these kids coming out here with the beer. They'll send the tone right away. We want you, like I said, the goal is we want you to come here and have a good time, but at the same token, you're going to follow the rules and you're going to obey the laws. Unfortunately, you know, you have young people who think I'm on spring break, I could check common sense and the laws at the front door because it's spring break. I can get away with whatever I want.